In the age of Sigmar, warriors from across the realms set out at the heads of newly forged armies. Vampiric overlords, monstrous green-skinned brutes, and aspiring lords of chaos, and more besides forged their own path across countless battlefields. And as they win mighty battles, quest for long-lost treasures, and seek to unlock the arcane mysteries of the realms, their legends begin to grow. This is Path to Glory. Our scenario today is the decisive battle. This is the third battle plan inside the core rulebook for Warhammer Age of Sigmar for Path to Glory. Now, we have deployment with the Defender beginning, and we don't use any faction terrain here, for the Raider at least. Now, victory conditions for this mean we have to claim their skulls. Each time an enemy player destroys an enemy unit, they score a victory point for every 100 points that was destroyed. 390 points would equate to 3 points. And hold the center gives you a victory point for controlling the center of the table, and take the flanks as well, points for controlling the flanks that aren't in enemy territory or friendly territory. Today's game will feature the Chosen of Shanos, our Seraphon army played by Steven. He has the Eternal Star Host as his battle formation, giving him the Celestial Translocation ability, where once per turn in his army, during the movement phase, he can pick a friendly Seraphon unit, hold within 12 inch of a friendly Seraphon wizard. Roll a dice, and on a 3+, that unit can teleport around the battlefield. His quest is Rise of a Champion, where when you embark upon this quest you get to pick a hero on your order of battle that does not yet have a heroic trait to be your Rising Champion, though for our campaign we've allowed his current character that already has a heroic trait to choose second. We think it's just a cool, fun thing to do, and you can complete this quest when an enemy hero or monster is slain by a Rising Champion, and you gain a heroic trait when you do so. For laws, he's then got the Spell Law with Speed of Hawanchi and the Manifestation Law containing the Kron Spine Incarnate. His first regiment is led by his hero Shanos Greattail, Asaurus Oldblood. This model is his general and is on the path of the warrior and has the aspiring rank ability Berserker. He's also got the heroic trait Reptilian Cunning and the artifact of power, the Blood Range Pendant. For units then inside that regiment, he has the Knights of Itzel, a unit of Agadon Lancers who are on the path of the attacker, the aspiring rank ability Battle Fury, giving them re-rolls and the ability to run and charge. And you've got the Guardians of Zokka as well, a unit of Saurus Warriors. Steven's second regiment is led by the hero Whitescale, the Chosen of Teapot, Skink Star Priest. For units inside this regiment, we then have the Hunters of Sotek, a unit of skinks with javelins from the Path of the Defender, and they've got the aspiring rank ability Steel Discipline. Then they've also got the Wayfinders of Zunki, another unit of skinks, and the Might of Tlaxcotl, a Stegodon with Skystreak Bow. Josh is playing with the Hoarfrost Choir today, and they are an army of Nighthaunt. He has the Hunters of the Accursed as his battle formation. This gives him Vengeful Malaysian, where at the end of any turn he can choose to pick 3 enemy heroes within 12 inch of different friendly Nighthaunt heroes, roll a d3, and on a 2+, inflicts a mortal damage equal to the roll. His quest then is Harness Manifestation. When you embark upon the quest, you pick a spell or prayer from a manifestation law available to your army's faction. For Josh, he's picked the Quicksilver Swords. This prayer becomes a wild, and then each time you cast out that manifestation on a 1 to 3 of dice roll, you inflict some mortal damage on you, but on a 4+, you gain that amount of quest points. Once you've hit 10 quest points, you then get this manifestation as not wild and permanently on your roster. Speaking of laws, for spells, he has the spell of Shade Mist, and Manifestation Law is the Aether Void Pendulum, and as previously mentioned, the Quicksilver Swords, which are a wild manifestation at the moment. Regiment 1 is led by Johann Mortbach, his Knight of Shrouds. This model is his general, the Path of Warrior, aspiring rank ability Berserker. He's then got the Artifact of Power, the Light Shard of the Harvest Moon, and the heroic trait Ruler of Spectral Hosts. For units, he then has Gottlieb Sternburn, a Lord Executioner. The Shiverborn, a unit of Chain Rasp, and the Whispering Dead, another unit of Chain Rasp as well. It then also has the Infernal Crescendo, a black coach which is on the path of the attacker and has the aspiring rank ability Battle Fury for reroll charges. His second regiment then is led by the hero Otter Brenner, a Guardian of Souls, and for units inside that regiment are the Howlers of the Wind, the Murmur Banshee unit he has. Alright, so we are all deployed. Stephen Seraphon down on this flank. We have the Agrodons out front. Remembering, they have run and charge now. The Stegodon, your Skink Priest White Scale there. Then got some of the Skink Skirmishers at the back and on the flank. The Saurus led by your General Chaos there as well. And then for Josh's Nighthaunt, we have the Chain Rasp units out in the front. The Murmur Banshees with the Guardian of Souls on the flank. Then have Johan, your Knight of Shrouds, in the centre there. Lord Executioner and the Black Coach that also has run and charge at the back there. And so the Seraphon did finish deploying first, so they get the choice of the first turn and are going to choose to take it. And so we begin the hero phase for the Seraphon in turn 1. To start with, Stephen's going to see if he can do his little teleport ability from his sub-faction. So we'll start with the Skink Priest. He needs to roll a 3-up on 1d6. That is. And so that's where the Saurus Warriors teleport to, down there, 9-inch away from the Chain Rasp Horde. And so now you're going to use the Serpent Staff ability. You need to roll the 2-up on it. This will be going on the Agrodons, and no, fails. Lastly, the Skink Priest is going to try and summon the Kronspine. So it needs an 8 to cast. There's a 6 that is not cast. With that, that's going to be the hero phase done for the Seraphon, so we'll go into movement. And so all the movement is done for the Seraphon. Stephen did run, he rolled and only got a single inch on those Agrodons for their run and charge. And then you've moved the rest of your units around the table as well. So we're going to go into shooting. Right, so the Stegodon is going to start its shooting. First of all, it is in range with its javelins. So it's going to throw the meteoric javelins at the Chain Rasp Horde there. Right, 4s and 4s to hit and wound. And a 4 to wound. Can you get the wound through? No. And so Sky Streak Bow will be going into the same target. You've got 3 shots this time, hitting on 3s. And wounding on 3s. Both wound. Now these would be round 1, but you're Nighthaunt, so you do not care. And so, 2 5-ups. Save 1, that is 2 damage. And 2 6-up wards. No, so that is 2 down. Alright, so a couple of dead Chain Rasp. There is no more shooting, no covering fires being used by the Nighthaunt. And so, we're going to go into charges, which I'm pretty sure is going to be those Agrodons. And so the Agrodons do need a 6-inch charge. So let's see what they can get. Oh, they are in. And so that is going to be it for charges. Do you have any charges of your own to make with the Nighthaunt? So the Black Coach is going to declare a counter charge into the Agrodons. Don't roll double ones. Oh, I saw the one first there. So after that Black Coach charges, it will do potentially some mortals on its impact. 3 mortals. So to begin with, at the combat phase, your Lord Executioner has his ability on a 2-up. He can make the Agrodons -1 attack. He will. Alright, so the Agrodons will be putting all their attacks into the Black Coach. Alright, so Stephen has declared all that attack with the Agrodon Lancers. So the Riders now with their Celestite Spears and Clubs will hit on 2s. And will wound on 3s. And so 4-up saves on the Black Coach. Oh, that turns into 10 damage. 6-ups?
Yep.
That'll be 8. However, the Agrodons do hit on 4s. They don't benefit from all-out attack. So 4s to hit. I mean, rolling good. And 3s to wound. Ooh, 4-up saves. That'll be 4 more damage. Ooh, you must pass at least one of these. No, that is the Black Coach down. And so the Lord Executioner will swing back. He's going to go for all-out attack.
Can I use...
And so 2s to hit. That is everything. 2 auto wounds there, thanks to crit auto wound. And now 3s to wound. Another one. And so 3 6+ saves on the Agrodons. None. And so they take an Agrodon down and heavily wound another. So now the Chain Rasp have piled in. 4s to hit. A couple of auto wounds in there. 3 in fact. 4. And then 5s to wound. Another 2, so that'll be 6 saves. And so 4 up saves on the Agrodons. We'll take 2. And so with that, the Chain Rasp there have now been pulled out of combat due to a couple of the Agrodons dying. So that will be the end of the round. Stephen will score 2 points for killing a model worth just over 200 points in the Black Coach, but also score a point for the Saurus being within 12 inch of the corner, and the Stegodon score a point for being within 6 inch of the center for 4 points for the first round. And so we'll go to Nighthorn, turn 1. Alrighty, so beginning of the hero phase, you're going to start with the Quicksilver Sword, which is trying to generate some spells for your quest. So that'll cast. So the Skink Priest will try and dispel. You're going to need an 11 on dice. No, it does go off. So now you've got to roll for your quest. On a 5+, you will complete the quest. On a 4+, you'll get points regardless. Don't roll a 1 to 3. You roll a 3. So now you've got to roll 3 6-up wards. Hey, you did save 2 of them.
Couldn't I roll?
And so you summon up the Quicksilver Swords there. And with that, that is the hero phase for Nighthorn. So we'll go into movement. And so movement is all done for the Nighthorn. Just moving a few of the pieces around the table. All right, and just moving a auto run there as well. So, no redeploy there. So we'll go into shooting. Funnily enough, that's done too. All right, so no covering fire or anything from the Seraphon either. So we're going to go for charges, starting with the Knight of Shrouds. No, that's a 6. No snake eyes like Stephen wished for. Lord Executioner is going to make a charge as well. Oh, he's in. And the Murmur Banshees are going to attempt a long bomb charge, probably needing a 9 or something. That is definitely not it. And the Quicksilver Swords, they do need a 9 bomb charge. No. And so Stephen is going to go with a counter charge. You do need an 11 to get in there though. No. Alright, so start of combat phase, your Lord Executioner will use his ability on a 2-up. Does, so they're going to be -1 attack on the Saurus. Alrighty, so the Knight of Shrouds is going to begin our combat phase. We need 4s to hit. Just 1. 3s to wound though. Does wound. And so this will be a 5-up save. No. And so just a couple of wounds. You've got 2 wounds left on the Agrodon champion there. Now, the Chain Rasp do get to get pulled in thanks to your Infantry Overseer ability. So there are going to be 17 attacks from the 8 of them, needing 4s to hit. And so 5s to wound now on these. You do get 2 crit auto wounds though. And just no, so 3 4-up saves. You need to pass 2 of these. And you do. So the Agrodon will be turning its attention to the Knight of Shrouds. Stephen's going to go all that attack. This will negate the -1 to hit that the Death Shriek put on them from the Nighthorn charge. Just of note here is Josh did put the Always Strikes Last on the Saurus, hence why Stephen's going with the Agrodon instead. So 4 attacks from the champion, needing 3s to hit. Just the 1. And a 3 to wound. Does wound. And so 1 4-up save. Saved. 4 attacks from the Agrodon itself now, needing 4s to hit. Needing 5s to hit. And 3s to wound. Wounds. This will be a 4-up save. 2 damage. So 2 6-up saves on wards.
Yeah.
No. And so next up is the Lord Executioner into the Saurus. And so Lord Executioner into the Saurus. He is going to need 3s to hit.
3
and 3s to wound. 3 6-up saves required for the Saurus. None. So the Saurus pile in. They're going to be attacking the Lord Executioner. They have 8 attacks between them because they are -1 due to Lord Executioner's ability. They'll hit on 3s. And 3s to wound. 2. These will just be base save because 4-up, Nighthorn. They don't care about Rend. That was both 6-up wards though.
5-up on me.
Oh yeah, 5-up, yeah, because Lord Executioner has a 5. And he passes both. And so, end of the Nighthorn turn 1. They're going to control the flank, and that will be it, because they've not destroyed any units. And the center is not uncontested. And so, we are going into round 2. We'll have the priority roll-off. The Nighthorn are the underdog. Yep. So, they will get to break ties. Nighthorn got a 1, so Steven got a 1. So that actually means the Nighthorn will get the choice. Alright, so the Nighthorn are going to choose to take the double. Now, because they're not more than 6 points behind, that means the double will flip over, the underdog will flip over to Steven. He'll roll a D3 now for me. And so with that, that means Steven can now make retreat moves without having any mortal damage inflicted on his units. So with that, we'll go into Nighthorn hero phase. Alright, so the Guardian of Souls is going to attempt to cast Shade Mist. 6 will cast. Steven is going to attempt to Dispel with the Skink Priest. Steven's not going to attempt to Dispel. So Steven's going to try and cast the Kronspine Incarnate. A 9 off turn is required. And he gets it. And so the Kronspine is summoned to the table. So we'll go into movement for the Nighthorn. And so movement-wise is just your Chain Rust, Murborns, and the Quicksilver Swords all moving up in the center. All right, so Steven is going to a redeploy with his Saurus Old Blood there, so a D6 move for it. 6. And so just moves across, splits up the 2 characters essentially to make sure that they're not both going to get taken by the same thing. And with that, we go to Nighthorn shooting. Doesn't exist. And so after shooting though, Steven will declare a covering fire with the Skinks with Javelins over there going into the Murmorn Banshees. And so the Skinks will need 5s on the covering fire to hit. And so 4s to wound on the 4 that got through. Hey look, you did 3. These will be 4-up saves. Hey, and 6-up wards. 3 wounds. Alrighty, so we go into the charge phase after 1.5 Banshees did go down in the shooting phase there from covering fire. So you're just going to do your recharges because you still can charge even though you're in combat. It's to reapply the buff. If he does roll a 3 or less though, essentially fails what would be a regular failed charge, he doesn't get to reapply the buff. So the Lord Executioner gets in and will reapply the Always Strikes Last, I'm assuming. Yes. We then roll for the Chain Rust Horde. We'll get in and reapply their buff of -1 to hit. And then see whether you can put Always Strikes Last on with the Night of Shrouds as well, which you do. And now we'll go into your actual charges. Who are we going to start with?
Start with the Banshees.
Murmorn Banshees first of all.
Who are they going
10. And so they get into the little Skink Priest there. They're going to put the -1 to hit on the Skinks. And you've got your Quicksilver Swords to charge. See what he gets. 7. And they're going to go into the General. No debuff applies there because it's a manifestation. So the Banshees will be putting everything they have into the Skink Star Priest there. Alright, so the Banshees going into the Skink Priest, needing 4s to hit. 3s. All out attack is being used. There's 2 crit autos.
Glad I all out attacked.
And the 3s to wound. Right, so they're going to go straight through. So 3d3 damage. You are aiming to get 5 wounds. First one does 2. Does 2. And, well, dead.
Yeah.
He goes down. Stephen will then attack the Saurus Old Blood back into the Quicksilver Swords. So, Shannos is just going to swing 3s to hit with his 5 attacks. 3 hits. And 3s to wound. 2, -1 on these, so 2 6-up saves. Pass 1, but that does turn into damage 2. So 6-up wards. Not 2 damage. So the Quicksilver Swords are going to attack the general there, Shannos. The Saurus Old Blood. Needing 3s to hit. Crit mortal on these though. And so 3s to wound. That is 3. 3 5-up saves. Plus none, so he does take 5 wounds. Alright, so the Skinks have piled in, going into the Murmur Banshees. They are -1 to hit and wound, so they are 5s to hit. And 6s, roll like that again. You got 1.
That's pretty good.
The fact you got anything through, I think, is worthwhile. He fails, and a 6-up ward. Can you kill a Banshee? Yes. Alright, so next up is the Knight of Shrouds going into the Agrodon. Can it take it down? You've only got to do 1 wound.
Epic fail.
So, 4s to hit. It goes straight through though.
Auto wound.
So 1 save, -1.
Yeah.
So 1 5-up save. No. Goes down. Alright, so the Stegodon is piled into the Quicksilver Swords. It has 6 attacks. These will hit on 4s. 3 hits. And wound on 2s. 3 wounds. -1, so 3 6-up saves. None of that turns into 2 damage each, so 6 6-up wards. You need to pass 5 of these 6. You do not. The Quicksilver Swords are gone. So we go over here. Just remember, we forgot to roll the Lord Executioner's ability, so we'll roll on a 2-up. No, that's what you forget. Yep. Stephen will be declaring an all-out defense against the all-out attack of the Lord Executioner from Josh. So needing 2s to hit now. 2 crit auto wounds, and then 3s to wound. So that'll be 3 wounds in total. So these will be 5-up saves. Nope, 3 more go down.
3.
And so the Saurus striking back, they are going to be 3s to hit. And 3s to wound. It'll be 5. Oh, 6. And so 4-up saves. Failed 2, and then these will be 5-up wards after that.
1 damage each.
Yeah, 1 damage each. Save both. Wow.
Okay.
And so that'll be the end of the Nighthaunt's turn. So they did kill the Agrodon, so that's 2 points for a 220-point unit. The Skink Priest died as well. He's 100 points, so another point, and then you do still control the corner over there for another for 4 points in the round. Righty, so we go into Seraphon turn, and their hero phase is pretty simple because the character that had all the things in the hero phase is gone. So we go straight into movement.
I will.
Before that though, counterspell is going to be attempted by the Nighthaunt.
I'll go for the
Quicksilver Swords, that means you need a 7 off turn to cast. And that will cast. And potentially D6 roll for your quest. No, take another D mortal. So 6-up ward first.
Yeah.
No. So the Quicksilver Swords come back out, and so let's go with movement for the Seraphon.
Yep.
And so movement all done. The Skinks move up in the top corner there. You've also disengaged the Saurus out of the combat. You've also got the Stegodon there moving, and your Saurus Old Blood. Is there going to be a redeploy at all? Alright, so redeploy is going to go on the Lord Executioner, so that'll be a D6 redeploy for 3. And so that will be the end of movement after that redeploy, so we're going into shooting. Alright, so Skinks putting everything from the Stegodon into the Lord Executioner. So First of all, we'll have the javelins. There are 6 of them. 4s to hit. 2 hits. And 4s to wound. Now 1. No rend. Saved. Then 3 shots from the Sky Streak bow. Needing 3s to hit. 2 hits and 3s to wound. 1 wound. 4 up save. 2 damage. Takes 2. So the skinks with shooting combat are going to go into the Murmur Banshees, so needing 4s to hit. However, due to the -1 to wound, they are 6s to wound the Murmur Banshees. And we'll do just a solitary 1.
Starts to be able
And
to do
so
much to
4 up. Saved. And so next the skinks over there into the Guardian of Souls, needing 4s to hit. This time though, 5s to wound. It'll be 4. 4 up saves. Fails 3. Oh, he needs to pass at least one of these to live. And he does. It's almost worth declaring a charge over them now, potentially. Alright, so Stephen has no CP, so these are just all charges. Who's charging first?
Skinks.
So, Skinks up there, going to try and charge the Guardian of Souls. They're in with an 8. And next charge. Alright, Stegodon is going to declare a charge. He needs an 8 to get into that Lord Executioner. 6, no, will fail. And that just leaves your Saurus Old Blood to charge. Needing a 7 to get into the Chain Rasp. 9. Alrighty, so Stephen has the blood range dependent on his Saurus Old Blood, meaning because he's taken 5 wounds, he will now be 7 attacks. You're also going to have his Reptilian Cunning, which gives him all-out attack for free. So he's +1 to hit, and you're going to use your Wrath of the Seraphon ability once per game to +1 a wound. So you are 2s to hit. All hits. 2s to wound. Oh, 5 wounds. However, you don't care about Ren, so 4 up saves. That is going to be 6 damage. And now you'll need to make 5. No, you need to make 2 6-up walls. 1, but take 5. Go down. But importantly for Stephen, he has killed a hero with his general finally. And so your Guardian of Souls.
3 attacks.
Yep. In 4s to hit. Yeah. Hits twice. 1 crit auto wound. And 3 to wound. Doesn't wound. And so Stephen's going to attack with his skinks over here into the Murmur Banshees. There is 11 attacks coming out. And so 4s to hit with the skinks. And 6s to wound. Nothing there. So the Murmur Banshees are going to swing back, needing 4s. Sorry. Just 1. 3 to wound. Wounds.
2 rend.
2 rends. You go straight through, so this will be D3 damage for 3. Inks over here, they just need to do a single wound. And so, 4s. And 5s to wound. 2. And so 2 4-up saves. Fail both, so now you need a double 6. No. Guardian of Souls goes down. And so 8 Chain Rasp now go into Shanos, needing 4s to hit. And then 5s to wound on the rest of these. So we'll take them up to 7 in total.
6.
6, sorry. 6 4-up saves. He failed 2 and he goes down. And so that is the end of the turn. So we are going to have the Seraphon score 1 point over there for controlling that corner. You then are going to score... You've killed the 2 characters this round.
Yes.
That's it, so another 2 points. However, the Nighthaunt will also get a point this round because they did kill Shanos there as well. And so with that, we are going to go into round 3. And so we will go priority for turn 3.
And you're the underdog again.
Alright, so priority for the Nighthaunt, they got a 5. The Seraphon got a 5. And so, because Stephen is the underdog, he will get to break the tie. However, because Stephen now chooses to take a double, that means the underdog bonus will now shift over to the Nighthaunt. So, let's see what the Nighthaunt's underdog bonus for the round is. And so, because the underdog benefit, you are going to get reroll charges and strikes first, and that's going to be going on the Lord Executioner. And so, it is turn 3. The Seraphon have destroyed 3 units. That means they will get their asterism for the game, which is going to give their companion weapons crit 2 hits. Hero phase for the Seraphon, pretty simple. It doesn't exist. So, we'll go into movement. And so, movement is all done. That Stegodon moves up, as do the Saurus Warriors. The Skinks, both units stay where they are. So, we're going to go into shooting. Oh, before that, a redeploy is going to happen. Who's Lord Executioner?
Yeah.
4. And so, after that redeploy there, it makes that a 6-inch instead of 3-inch charge. Shooting. The Skinks shooting into combat there.
Yep.
Alright, so the Skinks here are going to shoot into the Banshees. Now, you did use Discorporate in the hero phase for them, so they are going to have a 5-up ward against this. So, Skinks hit on 4s. And now 4s to wound. Sorry, 5s to wound. Because Shade Mist is still active because you haven't had another hero phase. So, 4-up saves. Fail 2. These will be 5-up wards. Pass 1, fail 1. So, alright, so Stegodon is actually going to shoot into the Chain Rasp there. So 6 shots with the Javelins, hitting on 4s.
3.
And 4s to wound with the Javelins. Nothing. And then 3 shots with the Sky Streak Bow, hitting on 3s. 1. And wounding on 3s. Nothing. So that is it for shooting. So we go into charges. Who's charging first?
Stegodon.
Stegodon needs a 6-inch charge. Oh, yeah. So you're going to use your Rampage with the Stegodon, the Unstoppable Stampede. So you just do D3 mortals. For 1, you do get your 5-up ward against this. No, takes another wound. And then you can move 2d6 for the Stegodon. So see what that move does. 8. And so the Stegodon just pass through like so. Next up, we've got the Saurus charging it.
Yep.
7. And with that, there's no counter charges coming from the Nighthaunt. So...
Executioner ability.
Yep, we're going to go into some abilities. First of all, the Lord Executioner gets his ability, -1 attack, probably important. Right, Stephen will be going with the Stegodon first, so it has 5 attacks. Because it is -1 attack from the Lord Executioner. These will hit on 4s, but do have crit 2 hits now. So you only hit twice, but you get an extra attack in there. And then wounding on 2s.
So only 1?
And so 2s to wound. 3. So 4 ups. That is going to be 6 damage on the charge. Just charge +1 damage in there. So 5s. 3.
That will kill him.
Yeah. Very good rolling, but unfortunately he does go down. Alright, so the Chain Rasp Horde over here going to go into the Saurus Warriors. Needing 4s to hit. 6s are crit auto wound. And then 5s to wound. And so that'll be 4 saves in total on a 4-up. Ouch, that is 1.5 dead Saurus. And so the Saurus are going to fight back, so they have 7 attacks between the 3 of them. 3s to hit. All by 1. And 3s to wound. So 3 at -1, but as Nighthaunt, you don't care about that.
5 ups.
5 ups. So 1 damage each, so 6 ups. 2 go down. Then the 2 Murmur Banshees over into the Skinks.
They're less than 100 attack. Alright, 4s and 3s.
Yep, 4s to hit. 1 hit, 3 to wound. No wounds. Well, Stephen played a blinder there apparently. And so needing 4s to hit. Just 2 hits and then 6s to wound. Nothing. The pillow fight continues in the corner. And so that'll be the end of the Seraphon's turn. They will control both corners for a point each. And then kill the Lord Executioner for a point as well. So 3 more points to the Seraphon. And so Nighthaunt are going to have their turn. Hero phase non-existent. So we go straight into movement. So just the chain rush over there, moving towards the Skinks, who are going to declare a redeploy. Now Skinks are lucky, they get to roll 2 dice and pick the best result. Which one of those is better? And so 5-inch became a 6-inch charge over there. Alright, so the Nighthaunt, you're going to do your sort of charging again. So the Banshees.
Not a 3.
Yep, oh, close. And so you're going to put the -1 to hit on the Skinks. And then the Chain Rasp here recharging. Or actually charging for the first time, to be honest. Yeah. And so the last charge, so you have redistributed your charge here on the note. Big reason for that is neither of you were actually within 6 inches of the center, and now Josh has sort of done it, so he blocks Stephen being able to get within 6 inches of the center this turn at least, but claims it for himself. So go over these chain rasps, charging here. You've got a 6-inch charge. That is a fail. Spending a CP to re-roll. 7. I saw that 1 first. And so Stephen actually is within 12, so he's going to try the boxcars for a counter charge. Oh, Josh's heart was racing for a sec there. No, unfortunately fails, so we'll now go into combat. Right, so to start in, Josh is going to do his pile in here. Importantly, Josh has measured if he can get the kill on those Skinks, he will take the corner. Alrighty, so the chain rasp here are going to attack first. You're doing all-out attacks. This takes with the charge bonus from your special rules for the War Scroll as well. Takes you to 3s and 4s for your profile. So 3s to hit and 4s to wound. So you did get 3 crit auto. That's not the best roll in the world. That's 5 or 6. 6.
9.
So 9 in total. No rents, these are 6 up, so Stephen needs to pass 2 to keep the unit alive. And you pass 3. And so the Saurus are going to attack. They are going to be all out attacking. This is going to negate the negative that they've got of -1 to hit from the Shriek. So they are 3s to hit.
7 attacks.
And 3s to wound. It'll be 3. 5 up saves. Ooh, and a 6 up ward. No, 1 more dies. So the Murmur Banshees are going to go next. And 4s to hit. They both go straight through. And 2d3 damage on the Skinks for 4. And so it doesn't really matter what Skink Stephen chooses to go with. You've got the 3 Skinks here, so 4 attacks. They are 4s to hit, 5s to hit, sorry, -1. And a 5 to wound. Hey, gets 1 through. Fails, and a... Fails, that kills 1. And so now the chain rust there. 4s. And 4s.
Bounces.
4.
No rend.
4, no rend, so these will be 4 up saves on the Saurus. 2 fails, so that will kill 1 and the wound will carry over. And so lastly, we've got 2 skinks over there. 3 attacks between them, hitting on 4s. 1, and wounding on a 5. Hey! 5 up, saved. So that'll end the turn for the Nighthaunt. You do control the center. And that'll be the only point, yeah. Alrighty, so we are going to go into turn 4. Neither player is going to withdraw from battle, so let's see. Josh gets a 4, Stephen gets a 4. And so Josh is going to take the double. He gets to break ties as the underdog. However, because of that, the underdog will flip over to Stephen, who now gets to roll the D3.
6.
Stephen will be putting that benefit on the Stegodon. Surprise, surprise there. So we will go into Nighthaunt's turn 4. Hero phase done. Movement phase done. Shooting phase. The only actually, I will stop there. And so we are going to go into the charges then. After all of that. So start with the Banshee, charging back in. Anything but a 3 is fine. Putting the -1 to hit on the skinks and just charging to the other side. Mostly so Josh can reach it. The chain rust forward at the back there. That's a 3, so no recharge there. Oh wait, sorry, that succeeds. Sorry, it's the double 1 that fails. And the chain rust forward there. They're in. Just of note, in the hero phase though, Josh did use Discorporate, which went on the chain rust forward. So let's go into combat. Going with the Banshee first. Hitting on 4s.
I'm going to all out attack.
You're all out attacking with the Banshee, so hitting on 3s.
Defense. Just
No. Both hit. 3s to wound. 1 wound. Goes straight through. D3 damage for 3. Kills the rest of them. And so the Saurus here are going to fight. You've got 5 attacks coming out. You are -1 to hit, so do you wish to use all that attack?
Yep.
So you'll be back to 3s. Well, that mattered an awful lot.
Yikes.
And 3s. Apparently, these lizards are scared of ghosts. And so the chain rust forward. Hitting on 4s. Then 4s to wounds. Will just be 2. So
The 4-3 order.
oh, sorry. And with the 3 auto will be 5. 6 up saves. So Stephen needs to pass. There are 2 left. So you need to pass most of these. You did not pass most of them. And then lastly, you've got the chain rust there. Yeah. Does it wound? No. So 2 on the Saurus. There's going to be 4 up saves. Save both. So that'll be the end of the turn for the Nighthaunt. Unfortunately, skink units are 80 points, so they give it no points in this game. However, you do claim the corner for another point, and the center steel as well for another point there for 2. Right, so Seraphon turn. Hero phase is over. So we go straight on to movement.
Yep.
So big thing here, Stephen is electing to retreat the Saurus there. So they will take D3 mortals for 2. That leaves the champion on a wound. So as the Stegodon comes up, you are going to do a redeploy, I'm assuming, on the chain rust there. 4. And so that's a redeploy. So now we have shooting. And so 6 javelins into the chain rust there. And so we are going to be 4s to hit. 3 hits. And 4s to wound. Just one. 5 up and a 6 up. 5 up, sorry. Kills one. And then 3 shots with the Sky Streak bow. 2 hits. And 1 wound. So 5 up. 2 5-ups required. Save 1, kills 1. And so charges, the Stegodon does need a 9 now to get in. You do get a free reroll. And that'll get in. So the Stegodon will use its Rampage for D3 mortals into the Chain Rasp. For 3. You now need to pass all of these. Oh, pass 2, 1 dies. And so the Stegodon will have 6 attacks, hitting on 4s. 6s are crit 2 hits, but there's none of those, so 4 hits. 2s to wound. Oh, just 1. So 5 up. Saved.
That's ethereal coming in clutch.
And so, end of the round, it's just going to be a single solitary point for Stephen there. Just claiming that. And so, as I am the third party here, I will roll to see whether the game continues on past turn 4. On a 1 to 2, it does not. 6, it's going to continue. So neither player is backing down from this. So we'll go priority for the round. Josh has gone a 2. Stephen has got a 5. So the Seraphon are going to take the turn, which means that the Nighthawk become the underdog. And we'll get the ability to retreat for free. And so beginning, Stephen is going to do a rally on the Saurus there. See what you can get.
4 pluses?
Yep. 3, so that'll bring 1 Saurus back. And you're going to choose to discorporate on the Chain Rasp here during the hero phase as well. And so we'll go into Seraphon movement, which doesn't exist.
No.
And so we will then go with shooting. So you're going to go with the Meteoric Javelins, which have shooting combat. So 4s to hit. Not bad. And 4s to wound. 1. 5 up save. Fails, and a 6 up ward.
5 up.
Oh, 5 up, but either way, it failed. And so now the Rampage. D3 mortals. For 2. 2 5-ups. No. Go down. And so with that, that'll be the end of the Seraphon turn. So they will score 2 points on there and 1 for the flank. Alright, so in the Night Haunt hero phase, Joshi is going to attempt to rally with her Banshees. Oh, no, nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
And so the Chain Rasp stay where they are. The Banshee does move forward. It's going to attempt boxcars. It's trying to get those Saurus. Oh, 8. And he's going to do the...
4 to 3.
Yep. The reroll. Oh. And so, even though he could go on the Stegodon, he is not going to declare that as the charge. Josh will collect a point for the corner of the table up there, though. And so, impartial third party here, we are going to see if the game ends. 6, it continues on for round 5. Does either player wish to retreat?
No.
Nah. And so, we go for priority for round 5. 6, sorry. Just got a 3. Stephen got a 4. Alright, so the Seraphon are going to take the turn. That does mean that Josh gets the underdog benefit of the free retreats, because that matters. So we go into the hero phase. Stephen will attempt to rally the Saurus. Alright, so the Saurus, because they brought back the Musician, gets 7 dice for their rally roll. And can bring back 2 dudes. And so you are going to attempt with the Mermon Banshee a rally as well with the Nighthorn. And get 3 of them back. They are back to full strength. And so after that, we'll go into movement. And so after the movement of the Stegodon, you are going to attempt a redeploy with the Banshees. 4. And so we go into shooting for the Seraphon.
Yep.
6 shots from your javelins. And so forced to hit. 1 more dice in there, please. Do that again. Forced to wound. You didn't do it again. And so 4 ups. Saved. And so 3 shots for Scar Streak Bow, 3s to hit. Oh. And 3s to wound. So 3 4-ups. Fail 1, that is 2 damage. 2 6-ups. Kills 1. And so the Stegodon is going to attempt a charge. And so it is a 7-inch charge still. And the Stegodon is in. So now you got your Rampage, D3 Mortals. For 2. So 2 6-up wards. Another 1 die. So Steven's choosing to not do the movement for the Rampage, but then it's 6 attacks. Hitting on 4s. 1. Wounding on a 2. Nothing. So the Banshees are going to all-out attack. And the Stegodon will go all-out defense. So 3s. 2 auto, and the other 2 do hit. So 3s to wound. 4 3-up saves. Fail 1. So D. Fail 2, sorry. So 2d3 damage on the Stegodon. It'll be 4. And so with that, it'll just be another 2 points to the Seraphon. Let's see what the Nighthaunt can do. And so we go into the Nighthaunt's turn. We are going to have the Saurus here attempt a rally. So 7 dice. I'll bring back just a single Saurus this time. And so the Banshees are going to attempt to recharge. Or actually make their first charge. Well, they do. Assuming this is going to be an all-out attack, all-out defense situation.
Yep.
So 3s to hit. Just 2 this time. So you're not killing the Stegodon. 3s to wound. 1. 1 5-up save. Nope. D3 damage on the Stegodon. 1. So the Stegodon hits back with 6 attacks. 4s to hit, crits. So it'll be 2 misses, but 1 more dice in because you crit 2 hits. And then 2s to wound. 3. And so 3 4-ups. 2 damage. Takes a wound. And that'll be a point for the Nighthaunt at the end of the turn there.
It's run away a little bit.
So,
It has been very close.
do we get a turn 7? No. The game ends. That will be a victory to the Seraphon. And so, for the end of the game aftermath, the Chosen of Shadows gain an extra 40 glory, taking them to a total of 100, and they've completed their quest Rise of a Champion. Now, renown-wise, the most important one here is the Might of Tlaxcotl, goes up to 8 renown for the game, and this gives it the ability, past the attacker, Aspiring Rank Battle Fury, which is an ability to run and charge. Now they also gain the reward for completing their quest, a heroic trait Being in the Stars, which will go on Shadows Greattail. As we've mentioned in the campaign previously, we are allowing heroes to have 2 heroic traits. We think it's just a bit of fun to really boost up our characters. Meanwhile, for the Hoarfrost Acquire, they will gain an extra 30 glory, taking them to 110 glory in total, and their Hardest Manifestation quest continues with them on 5 points. They do have the Howlers in the Wind, their Murmorn Banshees, gain some extra renown, and this will mean they can take a path going past the attacker for the Aspiring Rank ability Battle Fury. Thank you all for watching. We hope this battle report was enjoyable for you, and if you did enjoy it, please go check out some of our others in the playlist on the channel. If you have any questions, please drop a comment down below, and while you're there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our Discord server to check out all of our future wargaming content. Thank you all.